And we're live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared podcast, where we talk about people, politics, and popular culture. I am your host, Austin Creed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, 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 welcome. So today, we're talking about the culture aspect, and I'm talking about fitness culture today. So, I haven't talked too much about this in previous shows, but what I will tell you is fitness is a big part of my life. I really enjoy it. It's something that's a hobby of mine. Now, there's a lot of I don't want to say fake news. That term is so overused today. However, what I will say is there's a lot of fluff and a lot of tomfoolery that goes on in the fitness industry with a lot of people using in certain substances that they won't tell you about. They'll just say, "Oh, look at this. I went from looking like SpongeBob SquarePants to suddenly I look like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and look at that. And it was all natural, and all I had was chicken, broccoli, and rice." Or maybe you're Hugh Jackman. Huge fan of his, by the way. But then you look at, he doesn't talk about steroids or anything else until later on in his career, and it's stuff like that that makes people not trust and think the whole thing is garbage, okay? And it ruins an actual transformation. So we're going to be talking about my experience with the fitness industry, my fitness journey, and we're going to really discuss it, and I'm going to tell you what works for me. Now, if it works for you, you're welcome to try it. However, I'm going to give a disclaimer up front. I'm not a model. I did not try any substances, okay? None of it. This is a natural transformation. And I will show you the pictures as time goes on because I wrote an article about this. In fact, I wrote multiple articles about this when I was still on Medium before I got thrown off and censored and canceled. So I'll be going through those and pulling those out of the archives. But for those of you who are new, you've never listened to the show before, you're in for a treat. Second, I want to tell you I ask a lot of questions, and this is going to be a good time for you to comment on this transformation because I'll be showing you a little bit about my life, and I'll be diving a little bit into my military story today, which I usually don't talk that much about, and I haven't thus far. So, without further ado, I'm going to hop right into this. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share the screen, and I'm going to show you. First, I'm going to show you an article that I wrote about, is there an ideal body? Let me ask you, before I start sharing the screen, I want to ask you a question. You, ladies and gentlemen of the Sheep Get Sheared podcast, I have a question. What is the ideal body for you? It could be for yourself. It could be for what you're looking for in a mate, whatever it may be. Is there an ideal body? And if there is, what is it? Because I want to know. And I think that everybody has a slightly different definition of what perfect or ideal looks like, which is exactly what I wrote about, but I also tied in a study that I found from Men's Health. So here, without further ado, here it is. And you'll see on the screen it says your account was found in violation. I'll tell that story in a little bit. It's a rather funny one because I'll give a little background before I dive into this. For those of you who don't know what Medium is, it's a writing platform. I started on it back in December of last year in 2022, and I'd grown up to 1,000 followers from zero in about 3 months. And then I started writing about, the stuff I talk about on the show, politics, people, popular culture, all that stuff. And then I talk about transgenders and Mr. Beast, and boom, I'm gone. Boom. They said I was a hateful person. They said, how dare you go against the party line? The bunch of mooks in San Francisco decided to throw me off the air, but you know what? It is what it is. In fact, I have access to these still, and I'm going to use it. Here we go. So this is an article I wrote. All these articles I'm showing you today are ones that I wrote. So I don't need to fair use anybody. This is my writing. So here's my question. I'll tell you, these are a couple quotes that I received back when I first got into fitness, because I used to work out in high school, but I was a very stick figure-y Jack Skellington lookalike, okay? I knew nothing about fitness. I knew nothing about building muscle. I knew nothing about anything. All I knew was I liked sports, and that's what I did. And whenever I tried to hit on girls, because back in the day when I was goofy, we all have that stage in our life when we're kind of goofy. We want girls to like us, but we have no idea what's going on. We're kind of just fumbling, bumbling around. Well, I had that stage too. And back in that stage, like I said, I looked like, if you picture Jack Skellington, that's pretty much what I look like. Stick figure-y, very pale, which some would argue I still am now. And I just did not know anything about fitness. So I had to learn all these things, which is why I'm discussing this today. But these are the quotes I would hear. I would say, oh, don't worry about it. Beauty is subjective. Don't worry about it. Looks aren't everything. Don't worry about it. The right person will like you for you, which I 100% disagree with, by the way. 100% disagree with. Relationships are a biological exchange, my friends. And the sooner you realize that, the better off you're going to be. But we're going to keep going. Because this article got a lot of traction. In fact, I compared the physical physiques of guys like Michael B. Jordan. Very, very good looking guy. Very successful. From what I've heard, he's a nice guy in real life. He seems like an overall good guy. Chris Evans, a little more of a left-wing commie type, but it's okay. I still respect the fact that he's gotten where he is. He's still a good actor. And look, these are the numbers. For those of you who, I asked the question a couple minutes ago. What is there such thing as an ideal or perfect body type? And if so, what does that look like for you? Well, I'm going to read you, according to Men's Health magazine, who did a study on this and did pretty decent research on this. This is what they said is the perfect, quote, perfect body type for a man. Here it is. Y'all ready for this? Here it is. Height, 6 feet. Wow, big shock. Weight, 187 pounds. His chest is 41 inches. Waist, 33 inches. Exercise 7 hours a week. Most desirable traits, okay? For those of you who care about physicality, here it is. And before I tell you, I'm going to read some of the comments I got for writing this, because if you can believe it, people were calling me a Nazi. They were saying that I was a white supremacist, that I was this and I was that, and I had to set the record straight that number one, I'm Jewish, and number two, I'm not a socialist, and while I'm a nationalist, I don't believe in white supremacy. I don't understand the whole thing, that things sound stupid. What? Because you're of a certain race that you didn't have any choice in, your parents chose for you, that makes you better or worse than someone else? That makes no sense. That's like saying, oh, this candy bar is better than that candy bar, even though it's the same candy bar. Why? Oh, because the wrapper's better. What? No, everybody's just a person. I don't understand that, but we're going to keep going, and I'll show you why. Most desirable body traits. Hair. 42% said brown was the best. 22.5 said blonde. 21 said black. And 11 said red hair. Okay. Okay. And by the way, this is subjective. This is not meant to say if you don't fit this, then you're unattractive and you're not going to find anybody. No. This is just what research that I looked at said. Because I wanted to spark a conversation. Which is, I got that. So, I guess you should be careful what you ask for sometimes, I suppose. But hey. Eye color. 35 said that blue was the most attractive. Brown, they said 26% said was. Then it was green at 22. And then it was hazel at 11. At 10. What is hazel? Is that like brown with some green? I don't even know what that is. I'd have to see that in person to really know what that is. I forget. Skin tone. Now, this is where people said that I was a racist. They said skin tone, fair, 35%, medium 33, olive 15, light was 10%, and then brown was 3.5. Now, this is where I think people said that I was a Nazi. I'm not saying that this is most attractive to me. I'm saying this is what I looked at, and this is what they said. So if you want to call them a Nazi, go to the Men's Health and tell them that, not me. Now, this is where I found was interesting. Y'all, what do you think that women find most attractive in men? What body parts? I'm curious. Because I guarantee you it's not what you think. Okay? Here are the answers. Face. was at 33. They said high. Number 1 was face at 33%. Number 2 was your bum at 21%. And the next was chest at 15, eyes at 10, legs was 8%, and then stomach or your abs was 3%. I think that's garbage, personally. And also, we're going to totally ignore the poignancy of the package, so to speak. Okay, that's just not even on the list. I assume because they don't want to make people feel uncomfortable, even though it's just reality. Okay, but we're gonna ignore that. But here, and then I talked about how the hourglass figure for women is extremely unattainable and not super healthy because most people genetically can't get to that. Like if you're looking on the screen at the girl on the screen right now, most people cannot get to that form. Even with plastic surgery, even with all of the unhealthy dieting plans in the world and all of the yoga and all of whatever in the world, they cannot get to that. And that does not mean that they're not attractive. It just means that they don't fit the Hollywood standard of what you might see in a movie. That's all. That's all. I mean, what do you want from me, huh? But here, I'm going to pull up some of the comments and I'm going to read them for you because they got pretty vicious. They got pretty interesting, I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. I don't even know who this... Oh, no, there was one woman who was trolling me so hard. Oh, my land. She was telling me how I was, like, a Nazi and how I was evil and how I was a eugenicist and how I was supporting the old man from Austria with the weird mustache. Oh, yeah, all of it. And they were saying that it's a joke. Look, people get really uncomfortable when you present them with actual reality. And I didn't even talk about women. I didn't even say that, oh, if you're a woman, you need this side, you need this much chest, you need this much bum, you need this much. I didn't even talk about women. This is just about men. This is just about men. And people got crazy. And you know what's funny? It was mostly the women who went crazy about how dare you say this and how dare you say that. And most of the men were like, hey, you know what? I see what you're saying. I don't necessarily agree, but I see what you're saying. So there were some guys who got butthurt in the comment section. I get it. That happens. But there were other dudes who were like, hey, you know what? This is true. I don't like it, but it's true. I don't necessarily like it, but it's true. That was the bottom line for most dudes. When it came to the women, oh my land, they went crazy. So, ladies, what is it with when I present reality or anybody presents reality, y'all get butthurt like I'm attacking you personally? I don't know you personally. I don't know you. So I'm not talking to you personally if I don't know you. I can only talk in general terms. I don't know what you want from me. That's the way it is. Oh, and then we talked about evolution. That one was interesting. Oh, this one was great. Oh, this one was fantastic. This one girl, man, oh, man. She was going in, talking about how, oh, my whole thing was debunked, and there's no such thing as an ideal form, and this, that, and the other. Oh, my land. Hey, dude, it was just crazy. It was so entertaining, I gotta tell you. But here's what we're really gonna dive into today. I'm gonna show you my transformation, okay? I've been on this journey for over a year, more like a year and almost, what, a quarter at this point? Yeah. And I'm going to show you what my transformation I went from about 230 to about 180. Now, I'm going to admit something right up front, ladies and gentlemen, of the Sheep Shear podcast. I'm going to admit something right now. Right now, I'm going to admit to you, I wanted to just lose the weight. I did not do it in a very healthy way. Now, I did not just cut all my calories and fast. I didn't do any of that. What I did do was I tried to lose weight as fast as possible because I felt extremely insecure in my body. So for those of you who feel that way, you're not alone. You are not alone at all. In fact, a lot of people feel that way. That's why I'm doing this show today. Because I lost 50 pounds in about a year. Now, if I could go back, I would lose it differently because I lost muscle along with it. It's not all fat. Anybody who says all the weight they lost was fat, I'm extremely skeptical about you, and I don't believe you. Because it's not how that works. But I'm going to show you. Look, this is me. For those of you who are looking on the screen, if you're listening on audio, this is kind of a bad show to listen on audio. I hop over to YouTube and watch this part of the show because I'm showing. This is what I look like about a year. But yeah, about a year ago and a couple months, a year and some change. This is what I look like. Now you may argue I didn't look that bad. Me, I thought I looked pretty bad. Now, again, this is extremely subjective. But to me, and for those of you who can relate to this, of you look in the mirror, you're not happy, you want to be different, you want to be better, you want to be superior to what you are right now, this is the motivation you need. I took this picture because I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, dang, I have let myself go. Now, keep in mind, I was in some really bad habits in a really dark place, and that's not excuses. That is just the context to the situation. Now, I'm going to fast forward, and I'm going to show you where I was at recently, and that's only gotten better, but I'm going to show you one of the most recent pictures. Okay, you ready? Here it is. This is the right here. Now, you have to pardon the crudeness of this image, but I want to show it to you none all the same. And this is what I wrote. Here's what I want you to listen to this. You need to leave your past failures behind you and focus on here and now. I lost the weight and got in shape, and so can you. Believing in yourself will set you free. Again, this is an article I wrote. I wrote this, back in February? We all have unique struggles, but one reality is inescapable. You choose to move forward or you choose to move backwards. You cannot say you're just treading water, you're just hovering. No, you're either improving or you're regressing. There is no in between. You're progressing or regressing. There's no, oh, I'm just kind of hovering here in limbo in proverbial purgatory and I'm just here for the ride. No. You're getting better or worse. It does not matter where you were yesterday, but what matters is who you decide to be now. I don't care where you're at. I don't care how overweight you are. I don't care what bad habits you have. I don't care where your life is going right now. That can change. Now, you're not going to go from being obese to being in shape overnight. It's not going to happen unless you do liposuction, which is not a good solution in my opinion. Here's what you should do. If you want habits to change, you need to cultivate an environment to produce that change. If you want to lose weight, toss out the junk in your house. Again, this moves to the next thing I wrote about, which is staying shredded. Now, once you've lost the weight, to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't want to hear anything else. Laws of thermodynamics, my friends. And if anybody thinks they can cheat the laws of thermodynamics, please hit me up on Twitter at Aussie Creed. I want to hear it, and I want to see how you broke the laws of thermodynamics. I want to know how you did it, because I guarantee you didn't. You just didn't track it properly. But to lose weight, you need to make small changes that will lead to a giant transformation. Get all the junk out of your house. Start walking. Start going to the gym. Start doing these things and do it consistently over time, and you will change. Do you think I went from being 230 pounds to being about 180 where I am right now? I have leaner than I was in high school, but I have more muscle than I had in high school. Why? Because I purposed to get there. I didn't just wake up one morning and look at, oh my gosh, look, I have abs. Oh my gosh, look, I feel really great and I've lost a lot of weight. No, I had to work for it. You know, like how everything else in the world works. How do I maintain 15% body fat? I wrote an article about this. Now, if you want to go and look for these, you can't, because Medium threw me off the platform because apparently, you know, I'm extremely hateful, apparently, which I am not. I don't hate people. I may hate what you're doing, but I don't hate you. Disagreement is not hatred, but I wouldn't expect someone who's potentially genetically damaged or someone who's intellectually inferior to understand that, but I digress. We're going to move forward. Like I said, here it is. The prominent problem with losing weight and dieting is not losing the weight, it's keeping the weight off. You ever see these transformations of people who lose like 100 and something pounds and you're like, oh my gosh, that is amazing. And then before you know it, they got the weight back at least halfway, if not all the way. That's because they didn't lose it in a sustainable way. They didn't lose it in a way that actually is maintainable. They just lost it to lose it. They didn't make it a lifestyle. They were on a diet, not a lifestyle. You need a lifestyle to get ahead. You need a lifestyle to change your life. If you want to style your life in a way you need, you want a lifestyle. Duh, that's why it's called a lifestyle. There are no shortcuts. You got to work for everything, whether it's money, whether it's looks, whether it's friendships, whether it's romantic relationships, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. Here's my first advice for you. If you want to lose weight and you want to sustain that loss, here it is. Walk about 10,000 steps. It doesn't have to be that. You don't have to do that much. You could start small. Start at 5,000. Go to 7,000. Eventually get to 10. It's good for you. For those of you who think that cardio is the bulking and cutting boondoggle that people follow, which is just a code for cycling steroids, don't fall for that. Do not think that, oh, if I'm lifting and I'm bulking, I shouldn't be doing cardio. Stupid. Stupid. You don't have to run a marathon. Just walk or go for a jog or a hike or something, for God's sakes. What's the point of looking jacked if you get a heart attack because your cardiovascular health sucks? That makes no sense at all. And if you're what's the dude's name? I forget. Michael Hearn. Oh my gosh, that guy's such a fraud in my opinion. With the whole I don't do cardio. Cardio's for weak people, and then has the nerve to say he's natural. I don't believe you. Anyways, let's keep going. The biggest mistakes you're gonna make that I made in my personal journey was I was hungry and there wasn't great food around. So what did I do? I just ate whatever I could, and most of the time, it's garbage. You gotta plan ahead of time. Like I said, throw out the junk in your house. Only get good, low-calorie substitutes. And then, even if you're hungry, if you're hungry, you should eat. End of story. That doesn't mean you need to eat pizza. You could eat something like watermelon. You could eat something like popcorn. Shout out to Greg Doucette. Coach Greg Doucette is a great example. You can find him on YouTube. He does a lot of content about this. He does a great job. Here's a great one. Sleep. If you do not sleep, you're going to really mess yourself up. You need to get proper sleep, and you need to make sure you're taking care of yourself at all costs. Because if you go to sleep, let me ask you something. How productive have you been when you're staying up till midnight, or you're staying up past midnight, probably playing video games, probably doing some questionable activities, maybe you're trying to get laid, whatever. When do you wake up the next day? 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock? Day's halfway over already, pretty much. Instead of waking up early and tackling the day like you need to. And it's good for your skin, too, on top of it all. If you want to cultivate an atmosphere of success, progression, and getting to that next level in your life, you need to set yourself up on a program to success. If you're sabotaging yourself, the world's not going to do anything for you. Do you really think that the world's going to help you? The world's going to be there to be like, oh, I got you, brother. Don't worry about it. No. Everybody else is going to step in your way. So you got to be on your own team, and you got to set yourself up and be disciplined. Discipline will save your life. Discipline will direct your life. You need to have discipline, and you cultivate it every day by sacrificing little things and establishing concrete habits that will then lead to a disciplined activity or lifestyle that will then produce results. That is how it works. Doesn't happen overnight. Doesn't happen within that first week or the first month even. Give yourself 90 days, and then that will become, that whatever activity that you are doing for 90 days, that will then, you will see progress, and it will help you know what you did wrong, what you did right, what you need to adjust, what you need to improve, what you need to reevaluate, all of it. 90 days can change your life. The question is, are you willing to sacrifice to get there? That is the question. And if you're not, well, I can't help you. I want to, but I can't. It's up to you. I can give you the information, I can lead you to the water, but if you're not going to drink, it doesn't even matter. That's how that works. My friends, I want to see you succeed. I want to see you become the best version of yourself, both financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you name it. I want to see you succeed. But I can't do it for you. If I could, I would, but I can't. I can only do what's right for me. I can only bring myself to that next level. I can give you all the information I learned the hard way, but only you can apply it. Only you can eat the right things. Only you can drive yourself to the gym. Only you can make sure that you're not eating garbage. Only you can make sure that you're investing in the right places. Only you can make sure that you are actually cultivating an atmosphere of success and not just sabotaging yourself and tripping over your own problems that you've created. My friends, I want you to know that all of you can improve. I don't care if you're Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world. I think Elon Musk is second. It's always between those two. It doesn't matter if you're Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. It doesn't matter if you're the guy in the gutter. It doesn't matter about any of it. You can always improve. You can always be better. And the only person holding you back is the man in the mirror. He's the only person holding you back. And you need to realize that. Stop blaming other people. Stop pushing it off to tomorrow. Stop saying that it's not worth it. It is worth it. Stop saying that, oh, it's just genetics and it's not fair and it's... No. Stop it. Stop making excuses and start doing something. That's what I want to tell you. That's the message of the show today. That's how I got where I am, and that's how I'm going to get better next time, and that's how you can improve yourself. All right, my friends. I love all of you. And I know that if you've stuck this far, you actually care about getting better, and you care about yourself. And I want you to win. I lost 50 pounds in a year. You can do better. You can do the same thing. You just need to want it. And you need to stick with it. Until next time, my friends. This has been Austin Creed. God bless you. God bless your family. And God bless the United States of America. We are out of here. Peace.